Rafael Leão, a one-man highlight reel. 97 goal contributions in 135 starts. A Scudetto, a Supercoppa, 6 years of brilliance. And now, Bayern Munich won him. But is he really chasing something new? Or walking away from a project that's no longer convincing? Has Milan's ambition dimmed? Or has Leão simply run out of patience? Bayern are offering cash and a player, but none of them move the needle like Leão. Milan would be trading a star for spare parts, unwanted players from Bayern Munich. Yes, he can appear lazy, but maybe that's the body language of a player questioning the club's direction, not his own desire. If Milan sell, it can go one of two ways. They use the funds wisely, build a cohesive, balanced system where no star carries the weight alone, and maybe, just maybe, become stronger for it. Or it's the final nail in the coffin, the symbolic moment where a once great European force lets go of its last spark and watches the light fade for good. The choice is Milan, but the consequences, they'll echo far beyond the summer. Bayern Munich want Rafael Leão, and they want him badly. And I understand. They're building themselves a very, very, very good attack. It could go down on paper as one of the best attacks in Europe. Harry Kane, Musiala, Olise, and then Rafael Leão. Now, it's being reported that Rafael Leão has expressed his desire to leave Milan, okay? And in return, Bayern Munich are about to open negotiations. And they're willing to offer Milan a bumper of a deal. Yeah? What a deal. 60 million plus a player. Now, it's only right we discuss the players, okay? I've gone and I've done my notes and I've done my research. Before everything, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Come on, we're a family. The players that they're offering, you're going to laugh. I'll be so honest with you. You're going to laugh who they're offering. Number one, Kingsley Coman. Okay, 28 years old. 1 more year left on his Bayern contract. Kingsley Coman came out at the end of the season and expressed his desire to go to Saudi Arabia. So what does that tell you about his mentality? What does it tell you? The fact that he's 28 and he's just looking for a payout. He's just looking to go over there, and with all due respect to the Saudi Pro League, he doesn't want to play in Europe anymore. He wants to go, collect the moolah. You want to bring him to Milan. Everybody sits down and cooks the life out of Rafael Leão's mentality and his attitude and this and that. You're bringing a guy that's expressed his desire to leave a European club and go to Saudi. So that's one of the players that's being offered to Milan. Player number 2, Min-Jae. Now, Milan, they're looking to strengthen their defence. Min-Jae, he's done well in this area, especially during his time at Napoli. And let's be real, even when he was at Napoli, clubs across the world wanted him. But let's just say, ever since he went to Bayern Munich, his career hasn't picked up. He hasn't done well. He's never ever cemented a spot in that Bayern Munich team. Sometimes he plays because of injuries. He might play the odd 5, 10, 15 games, but he's not a solid piece. Like, he's not an integral piece to this Bayern Munich team. Okay, so in reality, they're offering you a player that they don't really care if he was to leave. And what does that tell you? So what does that tell you? If somebody's offering you something that they don't care about, what does it tell you about how highly they value that player? And then player number 3, this is the funniest one, Goretzka. Goretzka's contract ends this summer. Bayern Munich are negotiating with him an extension, but the extension would more than trim his wages. So they're looking at him and saying, you're not an integral piece to us anymore. We're more than happy to keep you in the squad for squad depth, for that experience. But we're not going to pay you what you truly want because you're not that important to us. And you know what? If you did want it to leave as a free agent this summer, go for it. If it's true, those are the 3 players that are being offered plus 60 million, regardless of how you feel about Rafael Leão, whether you think he's the next big thing and he's a future Ballon d'Or winner, whether you think he's this toxic virus in the squad and his mentality, his attitude, the way he carries himself off the pitch, bro, that is the most disrespectful offer. If somebody came and knocked on the door and said, listen, here's 100 million for Rafael Leão, I think every Milan fan would turn around and say, take it. That 100 million, you can sign yourself some good players. You can sign yourself some good players, build yourself a cohesive team, a system. Like, let's be honest with one another. And I said the exact same thing about Tijjani Reijnders. I said this in the introduction. Sometimes, when you've watched Milan over the years, you could see they're always relying on Rafael Leão. Like, in particular, I saw it this season in the Champions League against Feyenoord. They couldn't score the goal. They couldn't create the opportunity. The ball just kept going to the left-hand side. And they were just looking at Rafael Leão and saying, you are our saviour. You are the only guy that's going to create an opportunity. You are the only guy that can score for us. You need to save us. And sometimes when a club is built around one individual, when the individual begins to lose faith, when the individual is low on confidence, when the individual is having a bad game, it drags everybody down. And I've always been of the opinion and in favour of systems to be built around the team collectively, cohesively, rather than one individual. One player shouldn't be the system. It should be all 11 players. All players chip in different ways. And maybe, just maybe, this Milan board are looking at it and saying, this club, regardless of the manager, Rafael Leão has always been the player that we've looked at and says, can you bail us out? Can you win us this game? This season, I feel like Christian Pulisic has taken that spot. Tijjani Reijnders has taken that spot. But Milan have already sold Tijjani Reijnders. So what's next? You sell Rafael Leão? That's done it. Rafael Leão has shown I can be the main man at Milan. He's shown it. Like, I'll be real. You can't expect 38 games of consistency from him, especially when you bear in mind the players that he's had to play with, the managers, the formations, the tactics. Rafael Leão, the one thing which isn't a debate, Rafael Leão is a good player. Rafael Leão is a talented player. Rafael Leão, still, in my opinion, is one of the best wingers in the world. And I'll be honest with you guys. The fact that Bayern Munich want him, like Bayern Munich, who have just won the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, who I guarantee you next season, the year after, or the year after, will most likely reach a Champions League final. Probably go on to win a Champions League final. Bayern Munich are building one of the nicest attacks on paper. Musiala, Olise, Harry Kane. And Bayern Munich, they have money. They can spend. So why is it out of all the wingers across the world, they're looking at Rafael Leão? Because surely if he was lazy, surely if he wasn't good, surely if he wasn't talented, surely if there was a mentality, attitude issue, they wouldn't be looking at him. And I always turn around and say this. When top clubs across the world come calling for your best of players, take it as a compliment, but never ever agree to a disrespectful offer. Like 60 million plus a player. Listen. It's also being reported that Milan will have the opportunity to handpick who they want. Hey, I dare Milan to go to Bayern and say to them, listen, 60 million, give me Olise. Go look at how Bayern Munich react. You know what? Not Olise. Give me 60 million. And Musiala. Go look at how Bayern would react. You know what? Harry Kane, what is he? 31, 32. Give me Harry Kane plus 60 million. They'll laugh at you. They're not willing to trade in their best players. They're not. They're willing to trade in spare parts. Unwanted assets. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Unwanted assets that, whether Milan grab them or not, they're probably being moved on. So in their eyes, it's a way, I'll be real, for me, this is like such a disrespectful offer. This is like a way to just manipulate Milan in their favour. Yeah, like, you know what, 60 million? You don't even have to worry about looking for a replacement. Kingsley Coman, have you seen what he's done? Kingsley Coman, he's won a trophy at every single club he's ever played for. PSG, Juventus, God knows how many other clubs he's played for. He's always won a league title. Mentality, winner. That dude doesn't even start. Kingsley Coman does not even start. Then you've got the whole injury problems. I don't know. Like, I'm seeing people online in support of this. Like, give us 60 million. It's being reported that Milan want 70, 80 million plus, like, as a base. We want 80 base, and then we can negotiate a player. Don't get me wrong. If it comes down to it and we're talking 80 million base, plus add-ons, plus Min-Jae, as much as it pains me to say, because Rafael Leão is one of my favourite players in the Serie A as a whole, 80 million base, Min-Jae, maybe, just maybe, Milan should take that offer. Maybe, just maybe. Like, I think people forget, and maybe it's because Rafael Leão has been at Milan for such a long time. Rafael Leão is 25. I think he's 26 in a few days. Rafael Leão is 26. This is a guy that can still give you another 5, 6, 7 years at the top flight, at the top level. It's not like he's a player reaching the twilight years of his career where Milan should be thinking to cash in on him. Like, I feel like I went into the summer and I was like, Milan will definitely sell one of their best of players. They will, okay? Let's be honest. They've got 5 amazing players, yeah? From Rafael Leão, Pulisic, Reijnders, Theo Hernandez, Mike Maignan. Reijnders is gone. Pulisic is looking like most likely he is staying, okay? Rafael Leão potentially is leaving. Mike Maignan is potentially leaving. Theo Hernandez is leaving. If somebody told me at the final game of the season, which I believe was against Monza, if that game ended and someone turned around and said to me, in 3 months' time when the Serie A campaign starts, Milan will only have 1 out of those 5, I think I'll punch you. I actually think I'll punch you. I'm promoting violence. They're about to lose 4 out of those 5. And don't get me wrong, I see what they're trying to build. Do I agree with it? Do I think it's taking Milan in the right direction? No, not really. Are they going to play a brand of football which I like? No, not really. But I understand This season, they've seen a lot of unrest, a lot of trouble internally, especially in the changing room. Players that don't have that hunger to win. Players that don't have the mentality to play for a club like Milan. Players that don't carry themselves in the most ethical of manners. And they're probably looking at it and saying, you know what it is we need? We need winners. We need players that are hungry. Rafael Leão is a winner. Rafael Leão is hungry. And that's why I always say, you look at the nonchalant behaviour, you look at the fact that sometimes he's walking all over the pitch. Bro, I'll be honest with you guys. If I was on a pitch and the guys that I was playing with were not good, I'm not running. I'm not running for you. You're not good. I don't know, like, listen, maybe, just maybe, that's why I'm not a professional footballer. But I'm being honest. Sometimes I look at him and he's just walking like he's uninterested, he's unbothered. And I'm looking at the players around him and I'm thinking like, what could you really do with somebody like Musa? What could you really do? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. But at the moment, it's being reported 60 million plus a player. And this Milan board, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up agreeing 60 million plus Min-Jae and Bayern Munich turn around and say to them, you're getting yourself a 30, 40 million pound centre half. So in reality, you're getting 60 million plus the 40 million value of Min-Jae. You're practically getting 100 million for Rafael Leão. No, that's not how business works. Yeah, the asset, when Min-Jae went to Bayern, the asset was top of the food chain. It was in demand. At the moment, the asset of Min-Jae is not in demand. Okay? It's depreciated in price. So it's not a 40 million asset anymore. I need Milan to be smart. And for me, Rafael Leão needs to stay. Rafael Leão needs to stay. Now, I'd love to hear you guys' opinions in the comments. If you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.